In the boardroom, King Elon was contemplating walls of Kipok. The walls of Kipok are those of ancient wisdom. They reference all the knowledge and discovery of past times and allow summoning it, which King Elon knew well how to do. Growing up, King Elon's father had no intention to be around his son. He was such a cold-hearted, cold-blooded man that he did not even bother speaking to him much and found him to be too weak of an heir.
Sit down!
Young Elon spent most of his time contemplating his surroundings and spoke very few words. His young brother Kale was more in line with what their father perceived as worthy of his time. So he would often take the young boy horseback riding, fencing, and taught him many tricks and crafts in the trades of his time as a way to prepare him to become a king in the future. Seeing the king as an unfit father, Elon's mother, Queen May, asked Hanzo to take care of young Elon and to let him accompany him in his observations and daily tasks, since the only place the kid felt happy was visiting Hanzo's house. With Hanzo, young Elon learned how to look at the universe with a wise one's eye, but he had very little of their restraint. But he had fun. He had so much fun.
Jump, jump! Great catch!
King Elon, in front of Kipok walls, thought of Jolts, a travel medium used by pixies that runs on sunray. He remembered the long hours with Hanzo discussing them. They were small, not very fast, not very reliable, but for some reason, young Elon kept telling Hanzo that humans needed to make them their travel tool as well. But people had torches, oxycar vehicles that were very robust and fast, and although they would cause some crashes and dark traps, people liked them. Maybe it was for their convenience and reliability. With the oxycarb fear, everyone would want to save human life on Earth. People may consider Jolts, if he can make one in human size, that is.
This has been tried before, my king.
I know Yoda tried, but he tried with very little effort and very cheap stash.
Yes, but you have to see the sunray trap. It holds very little energy.
I think there is a way.
Well, then you need to speak to Master of Energy Mahoon.
Why? What does he know that is not on the Kipok walls?
The latest observations? How do you think anything lands on those walls? Do you care for a trip?
Yes! The answer is yes. Always and forever.
I still have no idea of his whereabouts since last spring.
Where are we going?
To Rubia.
Who is Rubia?
She knows everything. Come.
Ah, Mahoon. Such a work of freak and sharp wits. One of the fiercest wizards and one of the best falcon flyers. But where is he now? This trip will be some kind of misfortune. King Elon reached the travel station with Hanzo, where many people recognized him. Feeling quite uncomfortable, King Elon smiled at the crowd that started gathering around him and was looking around trying to find Hanzo, whom he missed suddenly among the crowd.
Hello, everyone.
King Elon looked behind him. Her face was bright, and the whole crowd became some blurry background of no significance. She was a fair goddess of golden hair and ocean-deep blue eyes. Her cherry lips were smiling at him, and her gaze shattered something in his soul, and that felt deliciously sweet.
Hello.
Hello.
Do you ever think about jolts?
That was not a wise thing to ask an enchantress like her.
The pixie travel vehicle? Not really. Why?
Well, yes. I just think that they are fascinating.
Bet they are.
Celestine, how am I going to describe her? With her wide eyes, clear skin, pulpous small lips, a sharp jawline, a perfect smile, and a husky soft voice, the way she conducted herself was beyond grace and elegance.
My king, over here!
King Elon saw Hanzo at the top of the platform with a torch ready to go. He looked one last time to the stranger, then he took the torch and disappeared into the dark with Hanzo. Reaching the entrance of Glaxum, there was a massive, majestic building with many people going in and out. It looked like a library, but it was no library. King Elon was still carrying the young woman's face in his eyes. He was following Hanzo almost with no will of his own.
Well, we arrived. I hope Rubia's not out again. You seem distracted.
I am.
Do you ever think about jolts?
He snapped out of his state. Hanzo must have watched the entire encounter. How embarrassing! He rushed himself inside the building. Hanzo climbed the ladder up, followed by King Elon, to Rubia's spot. On the balcony of Spy Eyes, Rubia was looking through her binoculars. Her balcony was decorated with a vine that blossomed eyes, eyeballs that were following anything that moved in close or far distances. She was a young woman in her early 20s, dressed in an outfit that is strange even to Glaxum.
Hanzo, I am fairly surprised to see you here today.
Why so?
Weren't you to receive the one you call your niece?
She will be coming for dinner.
Do you really think she knows anything?
Let's see. You have a mole on your left butt cheek, and your mother, Queen Maye, calls you Bijou.
We are looking for Mahoon. Any thoughts?
He's here.
Here? In this building?
Yes,
Where is he in the building?
the library.
She said without facing him, still looking through her binoculars. As they prepared to leave the spot and Rubia to her binoculars, King Elon stopped and returned to her and whispered at a distance of Hanzo.
Do you happen to know the name of a certain young woman? She has blonde hair, blue eyes.
Celestine of Valencia. Commoner, but very sophisticated.
Are you sure? I didn't even finish.
Celestine of Valencia.
I'll take your word for it.
Hanzo and King Elon took the third hall to the library, where they found Mahoon surrounded by 3 of his disciples. They looked quite busy.
Master Wizard Mahoon, it's so great to see you.
Hanzo of Grinlore, I bow to your mighty restraint and knowledge. Is that Elon of Tesla?
Yes, indeed.
King Elon bowed to Mahoon. Our king bows to wise ones and wizards as he perceives them as worthier than himself and all governing entities.
I heard you were making human-sized jolts.
I see Hanzo has already told you.
No, it was Rubia.
And how does this woman know of all this?
So, jolts, feasible,
I know.
full of himself. The sunray trap is very tiny in a pixie jolt. To get a human-sized jolt, you need to have a bigger lift by an order of magnitude.
On the Keypok walls, the maximum capacity is set to 2,000. But if my calculations are correct, that will not be enough for a human jolt.
The new ones Max and I were working on have a 4,750 unit of storage. It would make for a decent human-sized jolt if you allow the trap to regenerate for a few minutes. But how can you do that if you are midway to your destination?
We can make regenerating pools, fountains, and travelers' rests.
And you would do that?
Yes.
Do you have the stash and material? Wait. I don't care.
Mahoon took a new sunray trap and gave it to King Elon.
Here, have at it.
Well, all you need now is to build the jolt that works with it and provide a few regeneration poles.
Regenerating poles. Regen pole. Pole reg. Pole ren. Renew pole.
What is he doing?
Naming the poles.
Kid, make them, then name them.
Is that how you made your kids?
I like him. Bring him more often. Now, if you do not need me, let me finish my work.
One last thing. How does wisdom and knowledge end up on the Keepok walls?
Well, Hanzo should be able to tell you more than me.
But you will be able to show him.
Mahoon looked at Hanzo for a moment.
Yes,